Hello everyone, this is Penny with Penny in the Yard. I've got a new project today. I'd like to show it to you. This is a project that my daughter-in-law introduced me to. It's a pallet and I have planted succulents all in these first two rows. But I tried to plant begonias in this row, and I guess here it is on the north side of the house, but it's really hot here in South Texas. We're going through a drought right now. This is impatiens at the top, and they're not working either. But we're going through a drought right now, and they're just not loving it here. So I'm going to take the begonias out and put them in the baskets that my husband hung for me over there on the side of the house. And I've got another set of begonias. Those are regular begonias, and I've got some double blooming begonias up back there on my barrel that I will also put in this other hanging basket. So that's my project today. I'll get started. Okay, so the soil seems to be okay. I just want to make sure I don't have any mealybugs or aphids or anything like this on these before I put them. Oh no! I didn't dig it deep enough. But it will replant. There's my basket. And I will probably end up putting succulents back up in here because that's what did good. And I was thinking maybe some Wandering Jew, which would do good. This gets quite a bit of sun in the mornings, and it's probably 1 o'clock before there's shade here, and it's just too much sun for these poor little begonias. So I'm going to stop and go get my shovel. I've actually got two types of hydrangeas planted at the bottom here. This is my ladder. And so I have to be careful about how I do this so that I don't crush my hydrangeas. I was really surprised that they made it as well as they have here because it does get a lot of sun, and hydrangeas love morning sun, but need that afternoon shade. So they're doing surprisingly well. I keep them well watered though. Okay, here is the other side. These poor little guys just don't look happy at all. Looks like he might have been a little bit crowded in there. So I think I need to add a little bit more soil. I see some little buggies. I'm not sure if that was a good guy or a bad guy. just to fluff it up a little bit before I put anything else in there. And if anybody has any suggestions about what they think would be good in these areas, please leave me a comment. I am in zone 9B. This is the north side of my house. The most north side of my house, I should say. It's not directly north. It does have some easterly facing. It is a little bit eastern, so I'd say northeast. But these shade-loving plants just are getting too much sun here. This impatient I thought would do really good and start drooping over the side, but it just, I mean, I had this full, and this is the only guy that survived. So since the succulents at the bottom were doing so well, that's what I plan on putting up here, unless anybody has any other suggestions for me. Okay, so I've got my soil in my basket. I'm going to put just a little bit of Osmocote on the top, and it will feed the flower for an extended period of time. Won't have to fertilize it very often. And so I'm going to go in and clip all of the dead leaves, ugly leaves, off. A little bit full. In there. This is a cutting that I took from this plant here, and I'm going to set him in there as well, and then trim back this plant a little bit and have some more cuttings just to place in there. As I'm cutting, I'm finding where a nodule is, and I will cut right below that and get rid of the leaf that's right there at that nodule. And some people like to have an instrument to stick him in the ground here, but this is pretty soft, so I'll just dig a little hole for him and set him in there. Okay, now we need to water him. Okay, so I've got the first one done. He is getting a little bit of sun right now. It's almost 11 o'clock, but because of this side of the house, the shadow of it shades this area. So it will get more shade on this side than it did on the garage side. Now to start the next one. Okay, this is my double begonia. It has quite a bit of burn on the leaves, and I don't know if that's from not being treated well in the nursery or not getting enough water. I'm not sure. So what I want to do with this one is trim off the top parts of this one and get my soil and propagate them. We are going to have a plant swap here pretty soon, my daughter-in-law and I, and we would like to be able to give some of this to our friends. I want to take the blooms off because that takes away from the energy it needs to make a plant, make roots. So I will set these out of direct sunlight, just have high lit shade and mist them every day. Okay, for my big plant, I'm probably going to try to cut off all of the burnt brown part of the leaves, not necessarily the whole leaf, and just take him out of this pot and put him in the next one. Okay, he looks pretty uniform now. The secret to keeping a good plant is to keep it trimmed. When you buy them in the nursery, they look nice, but you keep them for a couple of months, and before you know it, they look leggy and long. They just need to be trimmed back and they will look good again. Even though this guy doesn't have any blooms on him anymore, it won't take long for him to make blooms, but he looks a lot better. Let's go hang him up. Okay, so they're both up now, and it is almost 12 o'clock. They're both in full sun, but by 1 o'clock they should have shade. It's 86 degrees right now and very humid. Hopefully they do better on this side than on the other side. I'll keep you updated. Next time we'll work on getting the pallet planter filled with our plants. Thanks for watching Penny in the Yard. Y'all come back now.